Hi. So today I learned something.
Hey,
Hey. So today I learned something about architecture and how to manage like the front end, the
listening.
back end, and database of a project or an app, a functional app
Mm-hmm.
in real world, and how to implement a best architecture in so many ways and depend on the case that we we were working on.
Yeah, architecture really depends on the context. What kind of app were they talking about?
Can you repeat what are you saying?
Sure. What kind of app were they talking about?
No, in general, I mean the principles of how to manage in the right way an application and how to design in the best way.
Hang on, let me think. Yeah, so Gen Modular, separating concerns, making components reusable, and planning for growth so maintenance stays manageable.
Yeah, that's the case. So what I mean is that like uh, for example, when we're starting a project, maybe it's a monolithic or monorepo, and then if the application gets bigger, obviously we have to separate the responsibilities of each service, and then maybe think about a microservice in a long term or when the application gets a much more bigger. That's what I mean.
Checking. Exactly. That's a common path. Start modular, then split into services when there's a real need.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a good practice to implement that all that in the start second. Maybe
Right.
if the
Jumping.
if the project doesn't really get to that bigger or something like that.
Right. Jumping straight to microservices can overcomplicate small projects.
Yeah. So in which case of or give me an example of when or how we can immigrate it to that
Checking.
kind of thing.
Might start with a simple, yeah, you might. You can extract, say, payments or notifications into microservices if needed. For a mid-sized gym management app, a well-structured monolith is usually simpler and more productive.
Okay, so give me like an advice or something that I can apply from now on to how to think more in the
Sure.
design and like get that mindset of how to structure a project from the start.
Let me think about that. Strong mindset starts with asking what the core features are. Then define clear module boundaries. Think interface. Assume things will change, so keep modules decoupled. And learn a few arc deeply, like clean architecture or domain driven design.
Can you repeat that, please?
Sure. Strong mindset starts with asking what the core features are. Then define clear module boundaries. Think interfaces, not folders. Assume things will change, so keep modules decoupled. And learn a few architecture patterns deeply, like clean architecture or domain driven design.
Okay, so give me like an example or something else. Tell me something else.
Sure. Say you're building a gym app. Start with modules like members, access, and notifications. Define clear boundaries, then only split into services later if, say, payments need independent scaling.
Okay, so I get it. So thanks.